everybody, my name is Elizabeth White and I'm the Artistic Director of the Elizabeth White Creative. We are a resident company at Middletown Art Center, and we have some upcoming shows once all this quarantine is over, so hopefully we'll see you at those. Definitely stay tuned. I'm coming to you today because I wanted to share with you some of the material that we have to offer as a resident company. We want to connect with you. We want to share in what we do. So today I want to show you a little bit about what it means to projection map. When you come to our shows, you'll see a lot of immersive technology and visual elements that are done through light and shadow and computer programming and projection mapping techniques. So we'll have a course coming to you in the coming months, and we'd really love to see you for those. And for those of you who are saying, what in the world does projection mapping mean? I'm totally with you. I was there, and now I just want to share with you the magic of it. So stay tuned and enjoy. Okay, everybody, so I've got my computer ready to go. I've got my projector right over here. And I've got my little station where I will be projection mapping. So these are just little pieces that I built myself. These are made out of foam board. It's like a very, it's kind of like cardboard, but I'm sure a lot of you have used it for school projects and whatnot. And I just cut these shapes out and made them myself. Now you can imagine like a little stage. Imagine that there's like a little person here, there's some performers, and they're able to use all of this as a set design. So they can be weaving, entrances happening in and out. And then what we want to do as the projection map artist is we want to bring these set pieces to life. What can we do with these? How can we make them feel incredible and magical and dynamic and like they're changing throughout the show? So let's go ahead and dive in. Okay, everybody, so here we go. So I opened up this site called Isadora. This is what we'll be using for this course, but there are many other different kinds of projection mapping sites that you could be using. Don't worry about any of that for now, just go along for the ride. So we're going to be creating a kind of abstract set today. So I pulled together all these files over here of just different fun, kind of colorful content that I thought would be, kind of cool to bring into the scene. So let's go ahead and start. Let's take our top file in. Okay, so what we just did here is we pulled this file in to the scene. And now what we want to do is we want to put it on that staircase over there. So let's do this. Let's open up the projector and we'll go ahead and we'll look at both scenes that we have here. We'll make each of them smaller so we can see them. Now, I know that this is looking complicated already, but just don't worry about it. It's not as complicated as you might think. It's going to make a lot more sense when we have the time to really go through it carefully. But so basically what I have here is I have my input section and I have my output section. And I created a composite file. You'll see that here. That means what I'm telling the computer is that I want to create my own shape out of this. And what I want to do is map this shape to that staircase. So I'm going to go ahead and start. So I'm going to make this much, much smaller. We don't need it to be that large. I'm going to make it about the size of that staircase over there. So we can go pretty small with it. Now I'm going to bring it down a little bit. Now because we're projecting from an angle, the point that is closest to us is going to have to be higher than the point that is furthest from us. So great, we're already looking like we're in pretty good shape. Now that we have it mapped generally to the object, we're going to come over here to our input section. And we're going to drag these points over so that we're only projecting on the space that we want. Now, I know what you're thinking, but how are you going to map this exactly to that object? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to add points by clicking Command and holding onto it. So what we're going to do with these points is now we're going to drag them across. So we're literally going to outline this shape to match the physical object in space. And there we go. And it really is as simple as that. So we'll add some shapes over here, and we'll go ahead and start to move them. So this bottom one we'll take out here. We'll move this one here. We'll bring this one down, probably to about here. We'll add one more here. And there we have it. So pretty simple, or maybe it seems complicated, I don't know. But don't stress out about it. We're just having fun here. This is a lot of information to be taking in right now, so just pat yourself on the back. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next thing that we want to do. Oh, and let's also go ahead and name this so that we can keep organized. So we'll call this neon bars. Great. Okay, we'll go ahead and move this over. So let's say now that we want to bring in this, let's say you're working on a piece and it's about the concept of time. And we want to bring in these notions of a watch or time. So we bring in this video content, but we don't want to just spew it onto the scene. We want to create it so it feels inherent to the object of the set. So again, don't worry too much about all the small things that I'm doing. All of that we can go over when we do this course. But for now, what we'll do is we don't need this. We'll create a composite. And again, a composite is saying that what we want is to create our own shape. So we're just going to roughly map this, roughly, to the area that we're looking for, even smaller. And we'll come over to our input section, and we'll go ahead and we will start to map this. Now this is going to be just like the other content that we did. So we'll go ahead and we'll add little points so that we can start to really dive into this shape and make it feel inherent. And this, by the way, if you're wondering, this just allows you to turn it, but we don't want to do that, so I'm going to Command Z. Okay, so then we'll go ahead and we'll take this one and we'll move it to about here. We'll go ahead and we'll take the next dot and we will move it to about here. I'm going to go ahead and adjust this one a little bit. Okay, and it looks like we need one more dot, so we'll go ahead and add that, no problem. And we'll move this dot over. And we'll move this dot over. Okay, we're looking pretty good, you guys. So now we're just going to take this last piece and we're going to drag it in. And there we go. And we're already starting to look like we have a really interesting set. Okay, pretty cool. So let's go ahead and let's bring in this really kind of fun dynamic content. It's this racing purple like sunbeams. And actually I forgot, let's go ahead and name this. So we'll call this one time/clock. And this one we'll go ahead and name, let's see, purple rays. Okay, so we are going to put these on our lovely pyramids. So again, we don't really need this because we're creating our own custom shape. So we're going to go for composite. So same thing as always, you guys. I'm just going to make this much smaller so that it fits to about the size of this pyramid here, just roughly. And I could bring it this way, I could bring it this way, but I kind of want it to seem like the sun is shooting out from the midpoint of it. So I'm going to leave it about there. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to start to draw my triangle. Pretty simple. It's pretty satisfying to watch the light moving in space with your cursor. I don't know if you're experiencing that too. So there we go. And actually we don't need this one, so we'll delete that. We'll take this point down here and we'll move it right into the bottom of that. And now we can see that we can just adjust that top one slightly. Boom. There we have it. And that looks pretty cool to me, you guys. All right, let's keep moving. So let's go ahead and let's bring in, oh, and if you're wondering why it goes dark every time, it's because I'm coming out of the program, but don't worry about it. When you click into the program, it all comes right back. So now we have this kind of like blue, what should we call it? I wish you guys were with me so that we could do this together. But let's call it blue fluid. That's kind of what it looks like. Okay. So let's go ahead and click into this projector, and we'll go to so that we can see both our input and our output. Again, we don't need this rectangle. We do want a composite. So we'll go ahead and we'll do the same thing as always, you guys. So we'll make this small, and we'll bring it over to this triangle here. Awesome. Now we'll go ahead and over here, and we will start to draw out this shape. I know what you're thinking. Can it really be this easy? Yes, it can, you guys. It can, and we can have fun with this. Now, if you're thinking, excuse me, this is not easy, that's totally cool too, because it wasn't easy for me either. It took me some time to learn, so don't feel like you're behind in any way, shape, or form. Anybody can learn this, and I look forward to teaching all of you. Okay. We'll go ahead and pull this in a little bit more. Awesome, you guys. So do you see how quickly we're moving? Okay, let's go ahead. Now I have this fun diamond shape that I wanted to bring in for you guys. So let's rename this diamond. Okay, so this is going to be a little tricky because our triangles are on a angle, so it's going to be hard to kind of catch the side, but we're going to do our best. So we are going to take this, roughly map it to where we want it on that triangle there. About there. Maybe we'll make it a little smaller, like that. Now again, you guys, because this is on such an angle, we're not really going to catch all too much of it, but that's fine. Okay. Oh, I make these mistakes too. I'm supposed to be making a composite, not a rectangle. Okay, sorry about that. Let's go ahead and try again. All right, so we bring this over, we place it where we want it, and we go ahead and we start to carve. And you guys, it really is that fun. Do I sound totally tacky? I really do believe it's fun. Okay, so I'll pull this one over, and again, we don't need this one. Whoops. And we want to pull this over, and this a little bit up this way, and this a little bit up this way. Now I'm going to go ahead and use my keyboard for this because it's a little tricky with the mouse. Okay, there we go. Oh, well, let's take that down a little bit and over and down. Okay. All right, and the last one we might want to do, let's see, let's bring in a little more color. So, ooh, we have a little bit of an outer space vibe here. Okay, so we will go ahead and we will, oh, don't want a rectangle, want a composite. Okay. Oh, you know what, you guys? I just had a good idea for this one. Why don't we do everything that we can't see? So like the background outside of the shapes. That would be cool. Okay, so you'll see what I mean in a second. Let's do this. So let's carve out outside of these shapes. So I'm going to pull this over. Actually, I don't need that one. I'm going to pull this over here. This one is going to come about here. This one I might take up a little bit. About there. Okay, and let's see, we'll add in another point here. Okay, now this is where it gets really particular. perpendicular. We gotta get it as close as we can to the right spot. That's about here. Awesome. Okay, add in another point. Keep moving along. There we go. Add in one more point to about there. One more point. And you can see how particular it gets when you get into these tiny shapes. Okay, perfect. And one more point. We'll need this one to come out to about there. One more point. And there we go. Okay. Now you can see here that it's carving out that space. Pretty cool, huh? All right, now let's come over here and let's find out where this point is. Okay, it's about right here. So we'll pull it down this way. Now we're gonna carve out this triangle. Oh, isn't that so satisfying? All right, but we wanna make sure that we get the space in here. So we'll come down this way, pull it this way. Actually, I want this to come a little bit higher. All right, we'll go ahead and add another point. Stabilize down here. Let's see, where is this? Sometimes I just have to move it around so I can see well. All right, this will come up this way. Oh, you guys, this is looking pretty cool. I'm excited. If this were a performance set for one of my shows, I'd be pretty excited, I have to admit. All right, you guys, and for now, that's our final look. I just want you to know there's so many things that you can do with this. There's so many options and so many different ways that you can play and manipulate space with light. And I personally think it's extremely exciting, and I hope you do too. And I would love to work with you and teach you how I do this and see what kinds of wildly creative things all your minds come up with. Don't be shy. Anybody can learn this. This is beginner level. Anybody who's interested in the fundamentals of projection mapping, we want to work with you. So yeah, please let me know if you have any questions, and thank you guys so much for spending this little brief time with me. All right, see you soon.